Hello there, this is Jeff, E.D.S. Shandon. Welcome. Well, we're going to do something a little bit different today. What we're going to be doing is kind of a field trip. I've got some doors that I have to fix over in Morro Bay, so we'll show you some shots of on Morro Rock, maybe some of the otters around the rock there, and maybe even a little bit of my work over there. But to start with, we're going to show you some of some recent eBay finds that I got that I'm pretty tickled with, and also a new piece of equipment I got. Now it's not machinist tools, it's a radial arm, but it's kind of special. So I'll leave that for when we show it to you. This thing weighs about a ton and a half or so. So it's not your mama's radial arm saw. So we'll take a look at those things. First of all, I'm going to show you some of my eBay finds, and we'll go from there. Well, to start off with, we got this sterret level, and this cast iron, and it's honed pretty well on the back side. Now this is not a precision level at all, but this is more of a construction level. But what I liked about it is its cast iron design, and how nicely honed this top edge is, and the quality of it. It's probably not anything that I'm going to use too frequently. It is not reading accurately, so I'm going to have to adjust the vial in there. I'm not sure how to do that totally, because you can see, like their sterret precision levels, this is kind of grouted in there with some sort of material. So I don't know if the whole vial will be able to be adjusted with these screws or not. I'll have to get into that and find that out. Yeah, that's not quite, that bubble's not quite on. I've checked it on a few different items, and I'd like to get it to where it's working perfectly, where it's dead on. But more than likely I won't use it much. That's probably going to be hanging on the wall because it looks so neat. Now the next sterret find that I got, this is a T-square, and this is something of the past. It's kind of ratty looking. I need to clean it up, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to make this puppy shine. But you might wonder, well, what's the use of a T-square? Nobody does drawings anymore. Well, what's kind of unique is on my desk where I do my plans, I have kind of a tilt-up desk, and it has a flat square side, and my desk situation is kind of like a U-desk, and when I'm reading plans, I spread out one sheet on my left, one sheet straight in front of me, and one on my right, and usually the floor plans are to the left. I have the door schedule right out in front of me, and so using a T-square would be, right now I've got a piece of stainless steel that I'm using to keep, because you need to follow each line item on the plans, and so this T-square is really going to help me do that. Plus I just think it looks neat. That's kind of the old craftsmanship in there. The way that the T on it is, and so I found that kind of unique. I probably paid too much for it, but I saw that and I thought, man, I have to have that. I like that, and it will serve me for my purposes. The other eBay find is a tap wrench. Now this puppy is pretty long. I don't know, maybe it's, it looks to be maybe 16, 18 inches long here. Foot would be about to here. about right there, I guess. So yeah, it's probably about 18 inches long, 19 inches long. A nice tap wrench, and it came with these taps. So this is a 1" 8, I think 7/8. I'm not sure. I haven't checked that out yet. And they've been used. You can't really read the sizes off the shaft of these. They've all been well used. But here I got all those taps and the wrench for $19.95, which is exactly what I paid for shipping. So for everything, it was about 36 bucks, 38 bucks. So got a real deal on that, I think. I mean, just to buy those taps would cost me more than what I paid for the tap handle and or the tap wrench and the taps themselves. So the next thing I'm going to do is take you out to my shop, and we're going to see the progress that we're making on that wall. In the last week, we've gotten quite a bit done, so we'll take you out there and we'll show you those items. Okay, so here's the wall. It's completed, and as you can see, we've got doors stacked on top of it. We have a rack in front of it, and we've already started stocking that rack. And we have a corner back there for kind of garbage. Up in the very corner of that is going to be an area for metal that'll be accessed from the other side. We put up a wall on the back side of the shop all the way up to the ceiling, and that's tied into those purlins there and supported there. At the very base of that, all the way along that wall, there's a 2" angle iron with a 4" plate welded to it that comes up the side of that, and right in that area right there. And the reason for that is as we load doors or whatever up there with forklifts, the forks of the forklift will hit that wall. So we've got a steel plate right in there. So as the forks hit it, I don't know if you can see it. You can see it right there. It comes up about, oh, there you go. You can see it right on the corner there. It comes up about 6 inches or so. So that way that the forks won't penetrate the wall. We've put some plywood along the wall, just some scrap stuff that we had laying around. So we'll eventually put that all the way up. And on this side, I'll probably plywood that all the way down. I have yet to put my plywood up in my machine shop. I've been very, very busy. In fact, I have to work all day today, this being a Saturday. I'm going to be going out and working on a school project. We're going to be putting 2x4 up against that wall to hang our plywood, which is here. So the wall will look like this. Above that, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll either put it drywall or get some more lighter plywood. I don't need to have 3/4 because I'm not going to hang anything that high. I can't get to it. So that's what I kind of have planned. But all the walls all the way around will be 3/4 ply, so they can hang tooling and that sort of thing off of it. It'll make a nice sturdy background for my tools. And we'll get stuff like this off the floor because it'll be on shelves on the wall instead of on the floor. That'll save up some floor space for me. So anyway, this is a long-term project. In the meantime, I don't have any tools working, any machines working. So until I get this wall done and electrical in, which will probably be 3 or 4 weeks, I won't be doing any work in this shop. So just have to get things done, and it's a slow process because it's a busy time of year. We have a lot of school work going on. So we're going to be moving that door machine out and into another section that I've rented we're using that section for storage right now because it needs a garage door. I bought a garage door on a roll-up door on auction for 49 bucks. So once I get that put in, then we'll be able to move this over to the other place. And the new tooling that I talked about is also going to be, not the new tooling, but the new machine that I've gotten is also going in that shop. So I'll take you down and we'll take a look-see at it. Well, there it is. And you might say, what in the world is that? Well, believe it or not, it's a close relative to the radial arm saw. It's a crosscut saw, and you see that ram sticking out the back. That actually moves forward. This saw is capable of cutting a 48-inch panel, 1 inch thick. Now it can cut a lot thicker material, but not at the full extent of its cut. So if you're going to cut 48 inches, the limit is 1 inch thick. And that's with a 20-inch blade on it. Now what's unique, you don't see any pull handle. The motor is right there. Let's see if I can scan you into it there. Learn how to use these controls. I don't have my son here. Okay, that's the motor right there. And you don't see any handle on that thing, do you? That's because this thing isn't pulled by hand like most. Rather, if you look at the very base of this, you will see a rod sticking out in front. That's a foot-operated mechanism. You step down on that, it activates the hydraulics of this machine, and it feeds that head forward. Now you can set the rate of speed from 5 inches per minute to 120 inches per minute. So it's, you've got variable feed rates on that. Also, this motor is very high speed for a saw. It's running 3,450 RPM. So this puppy will get up and go. And so you have to have a very well balanced saw blade when you're cutting with it. And what this used to be used for is production cutoff, and also for where they were gouging or something like that when they wanted to put channels and stuff. They have a type of a dado head, and they called it a trenching head is what they called it. And it could put, most of you are familiar with the term dado. It'll put a big old dado in your wood or whatever you want to do. So it's really good for making tenons or anything like that. And of course, you know, back when this was the state of the art. Today they have machines you don't even have to touch the wood. It came with these racks here. This is a rolling table. So the way that this worked is you would have an infeed on rolling tables. You'd slide the wood forward. There's gauges on this bar up here. There's actually a scale on this bar up here, and you can set your gauges on that for your cutoff and whatever lengths you wanted. So you'd slide your wood forward, and once you were done, you slid it on down to the next production on it. So from end to end, this thing is 9 foot long, so it takes quite a bit of real estate, and it weighs about a little bit over a ton. So a pretty heavy machine. It's all heavy casting, and I'm kind of anxious to get it in and get it working. Of course, we won't have this set up for a little while because I need to get the garage door, which I have sitting back here in my scrap pile. Right there. There's my There's my garage door. I've got to get it all up and in my new unit. Have to get a ramp up to it so I can get the forklift in, and then I can pick this thing up and haul it into that unit. But quite an impressive saw right there, and we're going to use it for more precision work, precision cut off. I'll dial everything in and set up the fencing so it's very accurate for our cuts, and set the table perfectly level so that and perfectly square with the blade so that we can get precision cutting with this. And then when we're making our components for our doors, we can use this unit to do that. So I'm kind of excited about it. It's going to take up a lot of real estate, but a nice machine, and look forward to using it. Okay, well, the next thing is I have to load up and head to Morro Bay, and I'll show you some clips of the rock and the otters and that sort of thing when we get there. A couple of playful otters out there. Enjoying this pretty day. Bet you there's no shellfish on the bottom here. They're having a good time out there. Playing, enjoying themselves.